We are seeing more and more takes come out from people in the media about how they feel about Colorado. How do you feel Colorado will fare in the Big 12? I'll just get your take first.
I think that they're going to be a top 4 team. Mm-hmm. That said, who are the top 4? Okay, so if you look at their schedule, they get Kansas State at home, they get Oklahoma State at home, and they get Utah at home.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
All right, and they go on the road to Kansas, but is it really a road game? No, it's an Arrowhead.
Yeah, true.
So that's a destination game. That's a place people want to go to fucking Arrowhead and watch KU and CU play. That's dope. Mm-hmm. So that's a neutral site. Mm-hmm. So you get a bunch of these really good teams in the Big 12 on your turf. Now that means that when you go on the road, when you go to UCF, you can't stumble. When you go to Texas Tech, they're going to be fucking good, dog. You go to Texas Tech, you can't. Like I played in Lubbock. That place was bombed out and depleted when we played there. Then I'm sure it's no better. Okay, but it's a tough place to play, and that fucking turf is fast, and they love their football down there, and they get after it. So I think that when you're looking at like, okay, what potentially are we going to do in the Big 12? If they can figure out a way against those 5 teams, in my opinion. Because they should beat Baylor at home. They're a good team, but we should win that game. Going to UCF, I'd like to think that the guys will be up to play in Florida. That's going to be a trap game and a tough one. Yeah. And Gus Malzahn's team is super physical, and that KJ Jefferson is no punk. So we'll see. They should beat Cincinnati at home. If K-State, Oklahoma State, Utah, Kansas, okay, those games, you got to win 3 of the 4.
Yeah, I agree.
You have to. You have to find a way to beat Utah at home, to beat, Oklahoma State at the end of the year at home, to beat Kansas State at home. If you have those 3 games at home and you win all 3 of those games, you're playing in the Big 12 title. You might be the favorite in the Big 12 title and ranked extremely high. But if you can beat those teams at home, you should be able to beat everyone else's ass.
No doubt.
There's no punks in the conference, but you get a lot of the big dogs at home. And then the other team that's on the rise in KU, I mean, you get them on a neutral site. So everything's lined up here for Colorado to, let's say they go 1-2, God forbid, in the preseason. Mm-hmm. You still have the entire Big 12 slate in front of you where you can just make things right. You know what I'm saying? Now, I don't think that's going to happen. I just don't. Like the worst case scenario, I think they're 2-1 in the preseason or in the non-conference season. I mean, the only game I see them like maybe struggling and potentially dropping is Nebraska. There's no fucking way they'll lose in North Dakota State and CSU.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah.
After what I heard today about CSU, the shit that we're about to talk about.
Oh boy,
fuck! I'm telling you, the veterinarians, they'll play for fucking cow pies, dog. They don't like money.
Oh man, all right. Staying on this Big 12 CU topic. Joe Klatt was talking about how he believes CU is a dark horse to win the Big 12.
Future guest, booked.
Got these 2 dark horses. Colorado's a dark horse for this thing. I would be insane to not put Colorado in there as a dark horse for the Big 12. They're really talented. They might have the best quarterback in the entire league, and their skill position players are insanely talented. This is a team that went from 1 win to 4, where it's really threw away a couple of other wins. Should have been a bowl team last year, and everyone's like, well, can they go to a bowl? Can they go to a bowl? What are you talking about? Like, this team, I think, is an 8 or 9 win team, which puts them in the conversation in a deep quality league for a potential bid to the Big 12 championship game. If they keep Shedeur Sanders upright and he can throw to some of these talented players on the outside like Travis Hunter, watch out. Colorado's going to win a lot of games. They've got a difficult stretch early. North Dakota State, they play early. Nebraska, they play early. If they win both of those games, then watch out, because guess what? It's going to be 2023 all over again. That hype train is going to be barreling down the rails, and I might be driving it.
Yeah, Matt, your thoughts on that
guy right there. That's my guy. Joel and I are boys, we've known each other forever. We were obviously captains together. I think he's the best at what he does in the world. Like, he's unbelievable. What he sees and how he sees the game is it like makes me jealous, and I think I'm a bad motherfucker when it comes to how I see the game. So he's going to be on the show here in the next 2 weeks, probably after we get back from Hawaii. but a future guest and just a badass. And look, he's right. Like all this doubt, the doubt is simply because you don't like Dion. You don't like the way CU carries themselves. You have an agenda. You can't look at the team and think that they're not going to fucking be pretty good. All right. And if they underachieve and it goes south, we'll all eat crow. We'll have to do it. That's that's the way it works. Okay. I've explained this in the past. It's just what it is. You can't meet it with fucking anger. You just got to accept the fact that you were wrong. But dog, I'm putting a lot of fucking money this year, betting wise, on the fact that it's not. I'm not. So I'm putting my money where my mouth is here. And I think this football team has an unbelievable potential in front of them, even coming off a 4-8 season. Think about this. They blew the Stanford game. I thought they blew the Oregon State game. Okay. I thought they blew the Arizona game. Period. Those were all one-score games. The fucking Stanford game, they were up 29-0 at fucking halftime. Kill me now, God. All right. The fucking refs, in my opinion, the refs totally fucked them out of the Utah game. They took 2 touchdowns off the board on some bullshit. All right. Guys playing football, and all of a sudden they're getting flagged. So they lost 6 games by 1 score. They got smoked by a good team. Yeah, Oregon beat the fuck out of them. We know this. But they should have beat SC. Yeah. Let's be real, man. UCLA beat the shit out of them on the road. They shouldn't have won that game. But every other game, they arguably could have won. So when you're on that, when your big dogs went through that, you're going to be pretty good the next year. You learn from that. You think the Sanders family is real adept to fucking losing? No one in that family is adapted. You might get them once, but you ain't just going to start fucking picking up Italian wins against the Sanders family, dog. That's just not the way it works. So look, if you don't think they're going to be successful, you're either a fan of the other teams, which is okay, or you have a vendetta and a vindication against them, which isn't. I don't give a fuck if you do it, but I think it's pretty cowardly. But at the same time, if he was the coach at Nebraska, which is like blasphemy, and Matt Rule was here, and look, that could have happened. They interviewed Matt Rule at CU. Yeah. And that in fucking bizarro world, in a different universe, which is the way Marvel does everything. So fuck it. If that was flipped, I don't know if I would be as enamored with everything. And I respect Coach Rule in Nebraska. You know how I feel about them. Mm-hmm. I hate them, but I respect them. Yeah. So, you have to put yourself in their shoes too, but I will say you're wrong. So look, dog, I think that the potential here is through the roof, and I know I'm being super positive about it today, and I don't know how you can be negative, dog. I don't know how you can look at this team and go, I just think they're going to be a 4-8 team again. I just don't see, unless you have a fucking vendetta and a vindication against them, that shit ain't happening. It's just not happening. They're too good.